Hello everybody, it's your immigration attorney Luis Ruiz here with you today, bringing you another video in our VAWA series. Now, as you know, VAWA is the Violence Against Women Act. It's congressional legislation that's been passed to help abused parents, children, and spouses of U.S. citizens or permanent residents obtain lawful status in this country based on the abuse and the extreme cruelty that they've suffered at the hands of their abuser. Now, this video is going to focus exclusively on spouses. I'm going to talk to you about the requirements and the nuances that apply when you're an abused spouse. Before I get started, I want to ask that you please subscribe to our channel, share this video on your social medias. Domestic violence is one of these things where we don't really talk about it. It's kind of taboo in our society, and it's a lot of the times people that we know and love are suffering from domestic violence and we don't even know it. So I ask that you please share this video to your social media so that if anybody that in your family or anybody that you know, anybody in your circle is suffering from domestic violence and they are undocumented, they get this information to them so that they may reach out for help or see that there is a way out and that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So please share this video, please subscribe to our channel, and now I'm going to get started. So the Violence Against Women Act, like I said, is congressional legislation that was passed to protect abused, and in this video I'm going to talk about spouses. So in order to qualify, you must be a spouse. You must have a lawful marriage and a good faith marriage. Good faith marriage means that you entered into the marriage for a valid reason, not to obtain an immigration benefit. So if you married for love, absolutely okay, that's a good faith marriage. We do have to prove that this is a good faith marriage. Usually we look at if you have children together, if you live together. There's a lot of evidence that we can use to prove that this is a good faith marriage. We have to prove that you're a victim of physical abuse or extreme cruelty, which would be mental abuse, emotional abuse. A lot of the times what we use is declarations, affidavits from you, very detailed about what you've been through, what's going on. We have to prove that you've lived together inside of the United States. So you have to have lived together inside the United States, or if you're no longer in the United States, that the abuse that you did suffer happened inside the United States, or if you've never been in the United States but you married a United States citizen who was working for the government abroad or who was in the armed forces abroad and you suffered domestic violence, abuse, extreme cruelty at their hands outside of the country, as long as we can prove that they are government employees or that they were in the armed forces, then you will be able to apply for relief under the VAWA program. So the general requirement is that the abuse happened and you live together here inside the United States. If you don't live in the United States and they're not a member of the government, they don't work for the U.S. government or in the armed forces, but you're out of the country, as long as you lived with them in the United States and the abuse happened in the United States, then we qualify. Or if you've never been in the United States, none of the abuse happened in the United States, but your abuser is a government employee or a member of the armed forces, then we can qualify for VAWA. Now, an abused spouse can include as derivatives. In their application, they can include non-abused children, stepchildren. So let's say that you have 2 children from a prior marriage that are also undocumented who were not abused. We can include them in your application if you were abused as derivatives. Now, let's see the situation a little bit different. Let's say that you were not abused, but your 2 children were abused by your U.S. citizen spouse. Your children will qualify for VAWA and you can apply as well, even though you weren't abused, but your children were. So these are different situations where we can help the entire family obtain lawful status. Non-abused parent, as long as the children were abused, can be included. Non-abused children can be included as long as the parent was abused. The last requirement and the most one of the most important ones is that you would have a good moral character, that you're a good person, that we want you in the United States. Now, the government realizes that a lot of the time abused spouses end up in legal trouble because of the abuse that they've suffered in, or that they commit certain infractions because of the abuse that they're suffering with. For example, if you were ordered removed from the United States, but your spouse forced you to return. The government has a way to waive that return, which is obviously a negative mark for you for immigration, and it triggers several bars. But if we can tie your either criminal history or your immigration infractions to the abuse that you were suffering from, then those criminal bars and the immigration bars, the consequences of that behavior can be waived and open the door for legalization for you. So please, this is the way that a spouse can obtain lawful status under the VAWA program. Please share this on your social media. Subscribe to our channel. We're going to be posting videos every few weeks. We're going to do a full series about this. We have about 15 videos scheduled, and every video is going to be about a different part of VAWA and how different people can qualify, what evidence you need, how to move forward with the application process, the interview process. So we're going to be doing a lot of videos. Subscribe, like our video, share it to your social medias, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.